Sure. I want to ask you, that's super positivity. So whatever she says, we're getting ready to listen and learn. So please tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, thank you for having me first and foremost. My name is Danita Gibson, Lloyd, and I am the proud CEO of Girls in Columbus Indiana Brother. I am a native of Columbus, Georgia. I am a product of the School District, having gone from St. Mary's Elementary, Rothschild Middle School, we called it back then, or junior high school rather, and then Carteret High School, the class of 1985, of Hawks out of Carteret. And then I went on to Clemson University in Clemson, South Carolina on a full academic scholarship. Then I left here, got a master's degree in journalism with a concentration in broadcasting from Columbia University in New York City.
So this is home for you.
This is home. This is home. I came back in 1990, started a career at the Bank and Trust Company as their communications director. Then transferred to Florida, and I was there for 15 years. Left there for a period of time and ventured into financial services as an insurance agent and some financial planning. Worked for many years as the director and chief operating officer for the organization. Those one of the person I really able customer residential services. And then went over to Botanical Garden where I was a marketing and development director there. And then left there, was able to come to Berlin as a facilitator and did that for a little bit before I left and went to a managing partner back in the insurance with Dan Menifee and the Farmers Insurance Agency. And then I was able to come back to Berlin back in 2022 when the amazing Dr. Bill Burgos, who's then the CEO, asked me to come back and be her CEO. So it was really a full circle moment because over 40 years ago, I used to come to Girls Club. Girls Club is the predecessor to Girls Inc. So it's amazing to be back in the spaces that helped to shape me as a young person. And that gave so much to me in terms of helping me to understand my work, my significance, and the contributions I can make. And now to be at the helm of an organization that's had such a profound impact, not just on people in this community, for the past 72 years, has meant a lot. So I'm proud to be here as a CEO and looking forward to the things to come, looking for the community to support us as we have for the past 72 years. The next and beyond. Oh my goodness. When I think about the amazing women who have come through our doors, whose lives we have touched, who's also touched our lives. We can look right here on this poster. That is none other than Atia Ink Boggs. In fact, her stage name is Ink. And she often says, without Girls Ink, there will be no Ink. She is Grammy Award-winning songwriter, producer, performer. In fact, she wrote on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album, 16 Carriages, also the Renaissance album, and just recently, she was nominated 3 more times for Grammy. So she's Grammy Award winning. She comes from amazing women in her family who've also been a part of the Girls Inc. experience. So we're talking about women who've had generations of women that have come through our doors. In fact, her grandmother in this very center where we are used to teach sewing. Taught sewing. She's had other cousins and folks that have been a part of our organization. So many, many amazing generations of women that have come through our doors. In fact, when you come to our centers here at Girls Inc., when you come to those front doors, you look to your left, up on the wall, there's the Girls Inc. Wall of Fame, and her picture's right there. She's an amazing Girls Inc. alum. And so we're proud of her and all that she's done, not just locally, because she's a 2004 Shaw High School graduate. I'm going to give it up to Shaw. She's also done things throughout the state, throughout the nation, and internationally, because she is internationally acclaimed. And she's a Girls Inc. girl, and she never forgets us. She always claims Columbus, Georgia as home. So we're proud of her. In fact, if you look around the wall, you also saw some other pictures to include Michaela, KK Kimpson. She plays for the Indiana Fever. She was drafted into the WNBA. We had a WNBA signing party for her here. She joins other girls in Columbus like Jessica Carter, who also was recruited into the WNBA, and Olivia Cochran, who's on the board behind us over there. She was also playing sports internationally, doing some great things there. But then when you look at the fabric of our community, if you know the Aflac, that company, the Amos family, so one the Amos of the Amos family of Aflac is a girl who's a girl. When you also look in, again, the company, business rather. Now this will test your knowledge of hip hop. But you know there was a group called TLC. All right, well, one of the members of TLC is a Girls and Girls.
Wow.
Chili, Rosonda Thomas, of local fame, she's a Girls and Girls. And so I'm proud of her and all that she's done. She also claims Columbus, Georgia's home. We're trying to get her to come back in time for our 75th. We're trying to make connection there. Also, when you continue to look around our city, Crystal Shaheed, the varsity president of Truist Bank, is a Girls and Girls. Look on our school board, Dr. Tia Chambers is a Girls and Girls. On everything, and she and her husband out here in this community doing great work. Melinda Calder, who's been in business 20 years as the tax queen. She's a Girls and Girls. Another one who is making international strides because we all love beauty in the world of beauty. She's Thompson with her company Press. They're doing great things. She's got Nicki Minaj and folks like that using her products, etc. So yeah, she's a Girls and Girls. She's been on our board. Her daughter's doing great things in the business space as well. Marquette McRae McKnight. Really good education foundation. She and her sisters, McRae sisters, are also Girls and Girls. There's a center over in Bellwood called the Dorothy Hyatt Center. Dorothy Hyatt, for decades, was the executive director of Girls Inc. And she's also a Girls and Girls. Wow. And her daughter is a Girls and Girls. So when you look through this community and look at those folks that who made an impact, and we want to continue to make an impact, and the way we do that is by keeping our doors open. How do we keep our doors open? This very facility alone is 28,000 square feet. The other one at the Dorothy Hyatt Center is over 18,000 square feet. So we're having to manage close to 50,000 square feet of buildings. With buildings, you got water, air, lights, all the things that it takes to run the program so we can, give programming to our girls and girls. But that costs. And then we're sitting on many acres of land. Well, it costs to maintain that. So we have a $2 million budget that we must raise from scratch every single year. So we need to be here, but we also have to continue to raise the dollars that makes it possible. In fact, it costs about $10,000 to send one girl to Girls Inc. We don't pass that cost on to the family. In fact, it's a fractional part that the families pay. They pay $50 a month to come to attend and a $25 transportation fee because we pick up from 40 of the 52 elementary schools and middle schools in Muscogee County School District, and that's the cost. We maintain a fleet of 16 vehicles. We got all these buildings that we're taking care of and all the bills associated with that. We operate with a staff of about 30 people so that we can serve the hundreds and hundreds of girls that we're tasked to serve. It's a blessing to serve them, but it costs to serve them. And so right now we got a few things going on that I'm hoping that you're viewing and listening all the attention towards them. Number one, next Saturday, November the 15th, right here in this very center, in this building, we're going to have the Sweater Weather Swap and Shop. Say that fast. Sweater Weather Swap and Shop. And so what are we going to do? On that day, we're actually selling tables, kind of like a traditional flea market, but we're just taking it up a notch. So we're asking people to go into their closets to buy a table from us for $100. Now you may say, well, that's kind of steep. Well, every table sponsors a girl. We're taking the cost off of that family for a month, and we're going to sponsor a girl. So that $100 comes to us to help us with the programming that we do. But they come in, they bring their clothes, their shoes, their knickknacks, whatever they want to sell, and they keep all the proceeds from everything that they sell. Now, if they want to give us an extra donation, we'll certainly take it. But they keep the proceeds, and so we're able to sell those tables and make it possible that way. On that day as well, our girls who are learning about entrepreneurship, they're going to have concessions, so they're going to be selling hamburgers and hot dogs. So it's a lesson in customer service, professional literacy, you know, financial literacy, how to greet the customer, marketing, how to count down change. So that's going to be important, showing them what it means to be an entrepreneur and to how to work the crowd and get the people to come over and to buy from you. So that's going to be important. So financial literacy that day. We also, because we know there's such a huge food problem in our community, groceries are still not down. Food stamps, some people are having challenges with their SNAP benefits. And so we're actually collecting canned goods on that day. So we ask people to come out on Saturday, November the 15th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. right here, what we call the Baker Center, and to bring canned goods, but to buy tables. They can go to www.girlsinc-columbus.org and buy their table. www.girlsinc-columbus.org to buy your table. Also, you can go to Facebook. We're simply Girls Inc. of Columbus on Facebook. You can click on our event and buy a table that way. Our goal is 50 tables. We want to clear $5,000 that day. We're at the halfway mark right now. So we need your help to sell those remaining 20 plus tables so that we can make this a profitable event for us that day. And then there's one more, if I can mention. We've got another campaign. Because we realize not everybody's like a foundation. They can't write a big check, but are you willing to give up a cup of coffee? One cup of coffee a month, so basically $5. And 5,000 people giving up $5 a month for a year is $300,000. So out there in Facebook land, please like and follow us, but also realize that you can make a difference in a significant way, which is it's big. Imagine if we got 5,000 people that would make that happen. That's $300,000 that could come through our door. So many hands make light work. Give up that cup of coffee or that Snickers bar, that Reese's bar, because you know by the time you buy a couple of them, that's $5. You don't need them anyway. And donate it to Girls Inc. There's a link out there on our website as well for you to be a part of the sustaining members of Girls Inc. by giving $5. Now, if you want to do more than 5, we'll take it. But $5 a month for a year is $300,000 when 5,000 people do that.
And it's going to help a lot of people.
It's going to help a lot of people. It's going to help these amazing girls that we're blessed to call our community daughters that come through our doors. It helps us to run our programming, just every aspect of what we're able to do. Because again, we raise from scratch every year $2 million.
Okay, Miss Gibson Lloyd, what does it, if I send my daughter here, what can I expect you to do for her?
Oh my goodness. You can expect her to be in a home away from home. Well, from the time they walk in those doors, we're loving on them. We're checking in. How was your day? We're doing social emotional wellness check-ins. They come in, they get a nutritious snack. Then we sit them down for the academic power hour. Let's take out your homework, young lady. What's your granddaughter's name?
Well, like niece who lives with.
Okay, well, same thing. Mashaya. Come on in here, Mashaya girl. You know you got homework. Let's take your homework out. Let's have your snack. Let's take it out. We sit down with you. We're getting that homework done. Why? So by the time that y'all come pick her up at 6 o'clock, the homework is done. Okay? And if she claims I don't have any homework, no problem. Let's read a book. Because we happen to know what reading level they're on because we use the same software that Missouri County School District uses. So we know what grade what reading level they're on, so we can assist them with that, with comprehension, etc. And then we move from the academic power hour into our strong, smart, or bold program. What does that consist of? Strong is all about the body, making sure we're physical. So we're making sure that they are feeling confident in their bodies, that they're strong in their bodies. We're exposing them to all different types of sports, sporting change. Strong, smart, academic sports. So we're also doing STREAM, science, technology, reading, robotics, or research, engineering, arts, and math, right? So we have experimentations and things that's happening with that. We also are in that area exposing them to amazing women that come in. And then we have our own. We're teaching them about life skills. You know, cans don't go off the ground, baby. We have gardens, so we actually show them the whole process of cooking nutritious meals, where the parents can actually come in and help them with that. And then we also show them the importance of networking. We have amazing community partners that come in and talk about careers paths, etc. So strong, smart, and bold program. And then not only that, after programming is over, at the end of the 6 o'clock day, we have organized sports. So whether they're part of soccer, basketball, we do flag football, we girls into golf, pickleball, tennis. We have swimming. So in the summer months, we do have an outside pool, and we make sure that she's exposed. She's learning how to navigate in the water. They have playtime, etc. But we're also assessing their skills. We also have fitness grants. How physically fit are you? So there's a lot that Mashaya could get by being a part of our Girls Inc. family. Not only that, she's a part of a network of women. Across the United States and Canada, there are 76 Girls Inc. units. And it's something about going to a place and saying, hey, I went to Girls Inc., I went to Girls Club. And it's like a sisterhood. It's a traveling sisterhood. So she can expect that, the network opportunities. And then as she graduates, you see some of our alum on the wall, she can compete for our scholarships. Headquarters has scholarships that we give, and we've been fortunate that many of our girls through this affiliate have won scholarships for headquarters, and then we also give gap scholarships here locally, where she can compete for those scholarships every single year. How do you compete? An application, a little essay, and 20 hours of community service. And you can compete for the gap scholarships that we offer. So there's a lot for her here. We serve girls ages 5 to 18, but then we also take that experience beyond 18. We want to be a part of their life. We want them to know that there are opportunities that exist out there. And then we want them to come back and give back to their little sisters who are here at Girls Inc. So it's a lot. It is in them. You know, again, I talk about my experience being in Girls Club many years ago, over 40 years ago, and now have come full circle where now I get the privilege and the blessing of serving as the CEO of this amazing organization.
It was amazing. I didn't mention this, but years ago, my daughter was the gift.
Well, then we need her picture. Now, everywhere I go, if I run into somebody that's Girls Club or Girls Inc., I say, look at that. I need an 8x10 headshot of you because I needed to be on that wall. So when people walk in, they say, oh, I know her. Oh, I know her. Or that's my grandma. Or that's my auntie. Or that's my mom. That's important. When we see ourselves, we can imagine the limitless possibilities of who and what we can become. And so I need those pictures on the wall. So anybody out there, if you ever attended Girls Club or Girls Inc., I need your headshot. Send it to programs with an S at girlsinc-columbus.org. I need you on the walls so that these young babies that are coming in here every day can look up on the wall and see your strength, your beauty, your boldness, and say, I too one day want to be on that wall. And they can believe it.
I'm also one time when we were talking to Shannon, I was going to ask you about your job, but that's, honestly, to be honest with you, that's not even important because I see and hear your passion. So it's not even a job.
It's in me. It's a ministry. It's a calling. I know that at 58 years old, this is the last stop for me on my journey of making a difference. Now, after I retire, will I continue to volunteer? Absolutely. But when I look at the opportunities that are out there, going back in corporate America was an option, and doing some other things was an option. Entrepreneurship is an option. I also still continue to teach personal finance to soldiers out at Fort Benning. I'm a military instructor there. So since 2009, I've trained about 90,000 soldiers teaching personal finance and trying to help them navigate because though I'm not military myself, I come from a military family. So that's a passion for me, just like this is a passion for me. Seeing the impact that strong women, because we're all about building strong, smart, and bold women in an equitable society. And so that's why we need men and boys, because the equity only comes from society as a whole. It's not just women, but it's the boys and the girls that realize the strength, the power, the beauty, the boldness of women and girls and what we can achieve. And so we're all about inspiring girls to be strong, smart, and bold. And our vision is for this to become a truly equitable society. We're not there yet, but we're making strides to get there.
Wow. So what's your I want to speak Girls Inc. worldwide, nationwide. What's your demographic? Do you service more? If you have to just guess, you may or may not. What's your black, white?
It depends on the community area.
Really?
We meet the needs of the community where they are. Here in Columbus, Georgia, we're serving girls ages 5 to 18, just like we do across the network. But within our area, you'll see that in large part, our population is a lot of girls of color, right? So over 80% African American, Hispanic, We have some of our, young white girls that we serve here through our program, but we're meeting the needs of the families where we are. We have always been diverse, and it's kind of changed over time. But is there a predominant of girls that look like exactly like me? Yes, it is. But again, if you go to a different affiliate, you're going to see, maybe 50-50 or 30%, 30%. It just depends on the neighborhood, the community where the girls' peak is located.
Yeah.
But we're there to meet the needs of that community where they are right then and there. So it can be changing, and we expect that change over time as we address whatever the needs are in the community where we're serving.
Right, because I heard you say Canada.
We are in Canada.
Which means that let me know that.
That's right. We are an international organization. Because Canada's not part of the U.S., right? And so we're in throughout the contiguous United States. I'm not sure we got Alaska and Hawaii, but we do have affiliates throughout the nation, and then also in Canada. So our northern sisters above the border, very much so, are a part of the Girls Inc. network.
So I'm paying $50 a month.
Now, I'm not going to tell you that. Last year we raised our costs. It was less than $50 a month, but guess what? We had to.
Right.
So it's $50 a month for the cost of attendance, and it's a $25 registration. So it's it's $25 transportation. So it's $75 per month. There's a one-time registration fee when at the beginning of the programming, when you fill out everything. So it's $25 to register. But then from that point going forward, it's a $75 monthly fee that includes the cost of attendance and the transportation. Because we go and we pick these babies up. We pick them up from the schools here in Columbus, and then their parents come and pick them up at 6 o'clock.
Right.
Now in Phoenix City, because we are across the river, we are across the river. They actually, Phoenix City is right on the same time zone as Milton, because it's 5 minutes away. But the girls are actually dropped off by school bus in the Phoenix City housing complex that we're located. So we're actually embedded in that community there. They get dropped off because we don't have to do pickup in Phoenix City. They drop them off at our door, the school bus does, and then they're there to receive programming right there within the housing complex.
Right, you enjoy it.
I enjoy it very much. It's a passion. It's critical. It's a ministry. It's about the passion of making a difference in the lives of those young girls that we're touching.
Now, let me ask you, you gave us a vast knowledge of people, historical figures. Tell me what community that you have, personal community, from Girls Inc.
I just remember feeling loved and supported. I can't even think of any one particular thing, but it's just a feeling. You know how when you think of a place and it brings a smile to your face? It's just that it's kind of like, when your grandma would hug you, it's just that feeling of warmth that you know that you've been taken care of, you were loved, people looked out for you, they encouraged you. And so it's not any one, it's just an overall aura and an essence when I think about Girls Inc., when I think fondly, and when I think about what a privilege it is to be able to serve an organization that served me so well in my youth. So it's a blessing.
So if someone said to you today, Miss Gibson Lloyd, we want you to go to Michigan where there is no girls in Clinton.
I don't know if I'm ready to go to Michigan.
Somewhere outside of Columbus.
Right now, selfishly.
Right.
Because this is the community that raised me.
Right.
This is where I was born. I know the people in this community. I want to make a difference right here where I am. I graduated from Columbia University back in 1990, this Ivy League school up in New York City. And I had offers and opportunities to go elsewhere. My grandfather, my mother's father, became gravely ill in a diabetic coma. And for me, coming home was where I wanted to be. And so often we would talk about in Columbus how there was such a brain drain, how those that graduated from our schools, they went off to colleges and they never came back. I wanted to be one of the ones to come back and make a positive difference here because of those people who positively impacted me. So I will tell you selfishly, I can't leave Columbus. I've got to be right here. These are my roots. This is where my father and mother over 60 years ago chose to come and to build a life here and to bring 4 beautiful children into this space. And when my father, as an educator with the Scotty County School District, you know, it's not often that you see black males in the classroom, especially back then when he was in the classroom and he went into administration and he was a social consultant from the Scotty County School District. And then he ended his career as the principal of what was Winterfield Elementary School that then became Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School and was the first African-American male teacher of the year. And when my mother for over 30 years was out here at Fort Benning, and she was a chief of the Helpless to Crazy Center, also to an in process. And she followed in the footsteps of her mother, who was one of the first African-American nurses in this community. When I look at just the footprint that my mother's parents had right here in this community, her father was a third grade education, he was a brick mason, but yet he and his wife together, Arthur and Morvale Talley, came together and had 6 beautiful children, 3 boys and 3 girls, and every single one of those children that wanted to go to college went to college in this community. And so it's too much work to yet still be done here in this space to leave it, because this is home. And home is too where my heart is, and why I chose to come back over 30 years ago. I've been here back home since September 1990.
One of the best choices.
One of the absolute best choices I've ever made. All of my children are products of the Scotty County School District. I've got 3 on this earth, 1 in heaven. And so my son is a 2018 youth graduate after graduating from Columbus High School as an honor graduate in 2018. Right behind him was my oldest daughter, Kayla, who is now the assistant athletic director at Jackson State University, who went to my alma mater, Clemson University. She was also another honor graduate of Columbus High School. And then she went to the University of Louisville, and she got her master's in sport administration. And for about 2 or 3 years, she was the academic counselor for the Auburn football team. And then she and her husband, who's Dr. Wanye Pridgeon, over in Jackson, Mississippi now, are doing great things in that community. She's in his residency, and she's the assistant athletic director. And then my baby girl, Lauren, is a 2020 top 10% honor graduate out of Columbus High School. She had an academic ride that you would not believe at Duke University. She's a 2024 scholar, graduate of Duke University. She took a gap year and she came to Girls Inc. And she was one of my amazing facilitators here for a year. And now she's back in grad school, back at Duke University. So my children have come through the Scotty County School District. I am a proud product of the Scotty County School District, Hardaway High School. And so I will not leave Columbus. This is home for me. I will go up and consult with them if they want me. I will go up there and help them. But I know I'm coming back home, baby. Plus, Michigan's too cold.
It's too cold.
Right now, sometimes in Columbus, it feels like it gets too cold. But Columbus is home. I'm committed to Columbus and the work that we still have yet to do at our community to ever move.
Sounds really good. I like this. So let's get our girls over to Girls Inc. because Ms. Gibson Lloyd said that she's going to help us get them moving.
I want them to imagine the limitless possibilities of what they can be and who they can become. I know that today I am helping to plant seeds that come whose shade I will never see. I often hear Dean Calvin Snyder, the Dean of the House in Georgia, the General Assembly, and I believe it. I am making a difference today, planting seeds for whose trees I will not sit under the shade of that tree. I won't be here, but to know that I'm making an impact that will last long after I'm gone.